Yes, good morning, students, and welcome to the class of SAP. Good morning, Nagraj sir, and a warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so very much, madam. Good morning.
Yes, sir, you may
So,
please start the sessions.
sure. So yesterday we moved on from the finance and we discussed something about the AR and AP, a few bits and pieces where we had to finish off with the AP and the AR closing process also. So we had the concept of recurring entries yesterday. Okay. And we also saw about the account assignment model, foreign currency evaluation process. Okay. And we touched upon or we reached uh, the management accounting module. Okay, which goes hand in hand with your finance module, the CO module or your controlling module. All right. So what does your controlling module deal with? Your controlling module deals with the strategic decision making. Strategic decision making to the top management. Normally, this is remember in the very first slides in the I think maybe in the first class or the second class, I told you that, or rather we saw a slide where it said the finance related module was meant for your external reporting purposes. But here, this particular module, it is only for your internal reporting because they help the management to take the decisions. And that is why these reports are not to be shared, very confidential, and they will remain with the top management only. Most of the times, 99%, it goes with the top management only. And how did the module start? So how did our FI module start? It started with a basic creation of something called as your company code. So later we built up. We build up, say, the AR and the AP modules, submodules. Okay. Now, your controlling modules also starts with a basic creation called as the controlling area. Now, just like you had a connection between your head office and your company codes, here again, you have a connection between your CO module and your FI module. I think yesterday I showed you the place where we have where we could have a place where more than one company code can be assigned to the controlling area. So when it came down to the standard, did we have a company code? I mean, the controlling area, a standard controlling area? Yes, we did have with the same indicator 0001. But in our case, it was GM01. So I have created the CO area with the same code as that of the company code. And that is how the naming discipline has to be maintained. Clear? It is the foremost requirement for any of the consultant. So even before, if at all you're talking about the live project, SAP project, you are, or rather the consultant needs to finalize as to how he is going to do the naming. Suppose he has to design some 50 cost centers. So what is the code that he is going to use? Suppose he has to design your customer account groups, your vendor account groups. So what is the naming conventions that he is going to adopt? So that there is some kind of a uniformity, there is some kind of a discipline in the SAP system. So that is why we pay a lot of attention to the naming conventions also, how we actually denote, how we actually identify a specific entity in your SAP system. Now, the connection between your controlling area, once a CO area can have n number of company codes, but vice versa, one company code can report to only one CO area, nothing beyond that. All right. So we saw the settings also. You remember? I will take you through the company code structure again. I mean the controlling area structure again. And just like you had the submodules under your finance main module, here again we have different topics as far as your CO module goes. You have something called as internal orders. You have the COPA module. You have the product costing module. You have the material ledger module. So like this, it has n number of submodules under the main CO module. Clear? Now, how does the connection between the FI and your CO module take place? How does it occur in the system? So you saw your FI and your AP and your FI and your AR modules, they were getting connected through something called as your reconciliation account. Correct? So the reconciliation account was the bridge between your finance and your AP and your AR submodules. Here again, please make a note. Your FI module talks to the other modules only through the general ledger accounts. Clear? Now here, the FI module talks to the CO module through the general ledger accounts, which you have created in your chart of accounts. So what are these kinds, the general ledger accounts which are used by the CO module for the connection? What nature of GL accounts are there to establish the link? In your chart of accounts, the set of GL accounts should be of the nature profit and loss accounts. They are defined as your cost elements in SAP. Your profit and loss general ledger accounts in your chart of accounts, in your operational chart of accounts, They are defined as cost elements in SAP. So here again in the SAP system, just like it is, see, don't you, I mean, this word primary cost element and secondary cost element should not be new to you. Probably you would have come across in your commerce undergraduation or something, in your BCom or even in your PUC. Correct? So what is the concept of your primary and your secondary cost elements? The costs which can be associated or which can be identified to a specific department, that is referred to as the primary cost element. You do not have to put in an effort to identify as to whether this cost is shared. The ownership of this particular cost belongs to one specific department. And these kind of general ledger accounts, they are defined as your primary cost elements. This is not a new concept in SAP, right? So what, as I said, look at SAP from the business perspective. See, whatever SAP has done, it is with respect to the business itself. Right? Now, what is secondary cost element? Your secondary cost elements are those where your expenses cannot be directly identified to a specific department. In our case, in SAP, each of your department is referred to as a cost center. A very, very simple definition of what is a cost center. It is a master data where, and it is a cost collection bucket where all your expenses are collected and stored. Yeah. This is the concept of your primary and your secondary cost elements. Okay, now I will take you to the SAP system. There is something very interesting. So I'll go to the consultant's screen. Straight away go to controlling, general controlling. And here, please make a point. I am not going to create anything new. There is already a controlling area, just like your company code, which has already been created. GM01. Organization. Maintain controlling area. You can read the description. See, there is a huge definition or there is a huge explanation for the controlling area. See, clear? So just if you get hold of an SAP system, please make it a point to read it. So I'm not going to get into the first option. Okay, I'll straight away get into the second option. And this is the place where the consultant creates the CO area also. He goes to the new entry and creates a controlling area. So let us see, as you can see, your standard CO area. And in other standard systems, you can also see 1000. These two are the standards as far as your company code as well as your CO area definition goes. Okay. But unfortunately, you're not seeing 1000 here, but 0001 and 1000, they are the two standard deliverables in the standard SAP system. Okay, now I will look for my controlling area. See. So you saw how I activate or deactivate the components, whatever I want, whatever I do not want. Clear? How do I do it? I select this. So even before I go and talk about the components, how many company codes are talking to your controlling area? In our present scenario, there is only one company code talking to the CO area GM01, but you can have more than one company code talking to the same CO area. But the vice versa is not true. Okay, one company code cannot report to more than one controlling area. It can have only one CO area. Now, if I want to add another company code, how do I do it? I want GM02 because it is a sister concern. GM01 and GM02, they are under the same head office, so they are sister concerns. So I will be assigning it to the same CO area. So I go to new entries and give the company. Clear? But of course, this is the job of a consultant. Don't get involved in this. So I wanted to activate some of the items or some of the features. Okay, in the CO area, I have selected that and I say I go to the option activate components. Here, based on the requirement or of my customer, based on his needs, I would define this. So for our simple understanding, I have just kept the cost centers as active. Clear? Now, there was another interesting point in the course content yesterday. I don't know if people would have observed. Controlling master data. Let me go back to the previous topic. Controlling org structure. Maintain organization. Just hold on. So we also saw the prerequisites. Control, I think it must be here. Perform automatic creation of cost elements. Now, there are two ways of creating the cost elements. So yesterday we saw the manual creation of a cost element. Where did we do that? We could have created in the SPRO screen, or we could have created in our easy access screen also. Both the places we could have done. So I'll go back to the easy access and show you where it can be created there. Controlling cost element accounting, master data, cost element, individual processing, AA01. So this is the place where you create the P&L general ledger accounts as your cost elements. Did we see a cost element? I think we definitely saw that. GM01. Okay, 430. See, the salaries account has been defined as a cost element. Let me, who has created this? I myself have created this. Is it? No changes exist. Okay, no problem. So no changes have been made. Clear? So this is the way. See, if I go and create, it will ask me for which general ledger account you want to create. I give the general ledger account and then create a cost element. Clear? So this is the manual creation of your cost elements. But wouldn't it be nice if the system understood that whenever I'm creating a general ledger account as a P&L account, it should automatically create that as a cost element? Don't you think it is very useful? Now, where is the setting? Where can SAP define this particular requirement automatically? Now, let us go back to our consultant screen, because this is the condition which is defined by the consultant, whether the system needs to create the cost elements automatically or manually. Manually anyway, that is done. But if at all I wanted to create the cost elements automatically, did you see the statement out here? Perform automatic creation of cost elements. Okay, that is a point which we are looking at. So go to your chart of accounts. See where the connection is coming from. I'm now getting into the basics. Basics of your finance. General ledger. Master data. GL accounts. Preparations. Edit chart of accounts list. GM00. What is GM00? That is the chart of accounts which we are using. Our GM01 is using the operational chart of accounts GM00. Double click on this. You remember sometime when I was just showing you this, when we were discussing the different kinds of charts of accounts, I said I'm going to touch this point when I'm going to talk to you about the CVO mode. Can you see the connection? Integration, CVO integration. Now I have set it to manual creation, but I can also make it as automatic creation. This is the setting which needs to be done when you expect the system to automatically create the profit and loss nature general ledger accounts as your cost elements. You need not have to interfere in the process. Yeah. So this is your setting. So this is how you enable or disable the system from creating the cost elements as automatically or manually. Okay. Go back. So you saw from where to where we moved. We moved from the CVO concept to your finance concept, and that is where. So that is the reason as to why I have always stressed on the fact that please understand the flow of the information, how the system is set up. That is very, very important. Clear? Now, let us go to the anything else which I wanted to show you in the system. All right, let me finish with this. Now, so what was the first master data that we created? Of course, apart from the CO area, what is the first master data entity that we create? In our finance, we created something called as your chart of accounts. Here, we are dealing with some concepts called referred to as your cost centers. So yesterday, what was the point which I made? Each and every creation in your CO area needs to be done on a specific skeletal structure. You saw the organizational structure, right? Now, whatever you're creating as an organizational entity, in especially with reference to the CO module, everything needs to follow a specific structure, a specific backbone. So where is it now? Yesterday, we saw the example of a cost center. We created some non-executive canteen, right? Or executive canteen or something we created. Master data, cost centers. Now you can see define standard hierarchy. So you saw from where the standard hierarchy was flowing, correct? Just hold on. I'll create another session. I will open another session. So where did you see that? Okay, I could have shown you right here. Double click. So did you see something called as a cost center standard hierarchy? So this gets created at the very initial stage, even while creating the controlling area itself. This is a required entry. See, it's a required entry. I cannot save this information without the cost center standard hierarchy. Okay, so this is what gets reflected. This is what gets reflected here. Your standard hierarchy. So the topmost node, as I said, can you see this? GM01 underscore CCTR. So you saw this in your CO area master data. That is what is appearing here. So yesterday I created under the indirect, I created something called as non-executive canteen or executive canteen, something I created. Okay. So you can see that here. So this is how the consultant first finalizes the structure. He finalizes the structure, how he needs to classify this, and the naming also. It cannot be a production department, it cannot be an assembly department. Each one will be denoted by a code, by a sensible code. Clear? So this is about your cost centers, cost elements, and your cost centers. Now let us just read them through. create a cost center for your day-to-day business transaction? Yeah. Organizational structure or standard hierarchy, we have already seen. See, this is how. This is a typical example of how we name the cost centers. Can you see this H101? See, H100 is the for company code 1000. So it says. Now we can easily identify. So whatever starts from 10 belongs to Germany. 20 Britain. 21 Portugal. 23 Spain. And can you see that all the things they are created under the Germany? So 100, 12. So they have this 4 company codes: 1000, 2000, 2100, 2300. I'm assuming. Okay. So I have created some hierarchy like this. And can you see H1010, 10 under 100, whatever starts with 10, they pertain to the corporate. Under the corporate, I have 1110, 1120, management, external, internal. Now, can you see how sensible your naming also should be? So it has to follow some logic. That is the bottom line. Do not break your head. So this is how even we structure the cost center, or as a matter of fact, anything. Not only your cost centers, starting from the creation of your company code, everything starts with how you have to define in your SAP system. Clear? So once you have the structure in your Excel sheet or on your scratch pad, whatever, then you go about design in your SAP system. It is not you jump into the SAP system and start creating, because once you have created something in your SAP system, and more so in your CVO module, this being a very sensitive module, it is very difficult for you to erase the data. Clear? So lot of care should be taken while you design this particular structure or your standard hierarchy. Okay. Do you see the demo? Let us see the demo, how to create a cost center. In this demonstration, you will see how to create a cost center. See, here also he is in the easy access screen. It doesn't go to your consultant screen. So here also there is already a pre-built standard hierarchy. So he's simply creating a cost center under that hierarchy. See, can you see it is not created by a name. It is created by a number. Normally, this is a standard naming convention. We'll see how to display the cost center. This is a display. Did we see this yesterday? Don't worry, I will show it to you today. Not a problem. I think you are very familiar with the screen. So did you see everything on the left? You can see only the codes and the explanation for the cost centers. Yeah. See, 10100 is your telephone. So yesterday, I think we saw this, how you directly create a cost center from within your standard hierarchy. I showed you that this is normally the role of a consultant. You remember here I gave some senior manager or something, right? So you have now seen how to create a cost center directly. Okay. So probably to refresh your memories. Just hold on. I think I need to relog in. So how does one create a cost center from the end user perspective? Controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost center, individual processing, KS01. It will ask me which. So you saw the screen. Let me assume that I'm creating a, or let me create some 1010 something. So you saw the screen. Anyway, I'm not going to create this. I'm simply showing you how you saw that screen. Okay, I'll enter test CCTR person responsible, cost center category. I can take the help of F4. Maybe say production hierarchy area. GM. Okay, let me just do a F4. I will put this under. Let me assume that I'm creating this in the okay production category. I'll pick up something. Now, so you saw some other tags. See? So here you are actually defining the role of the cost center, how actually it should carry out its functions. I'm showing you all this because you saw that in your clear. So this is exactly what you saw. And if I save, it saves. No problem, it will save. Not at all a problem. Yeah. Now I'll exit without saving. This is one where you do not see the hierarchy. Now, if at all somebody had to, a consultant had to create this with reference to the hierarchy, normally that is the way the consultant creates. He always goes to the hierarchy and then creates. Controlling. Cost center. Master data. Cost centers. And instead of going to create cost centers, I would go to define standard hierarchy. So now I see the whole structure. Can you see this? So this is the topmost node. Come down, come down. So yesterday I created executive canteen, non-executive canteen. Clear? Now I can go to the production department, or I can go to the indirect or whatever you want to create. So I'm showing you how you need to create a cost center with the standard hierarchy. Okay, I'll go to the okay production department itself. Under the production, I highlight this, right click on my mouse, go to cost center. You saw this in your study content. Cost center. Here I would create a cost center. E0008. There he said some Jones or something. I'm retaining the same name. Cost center category is your production. You can go and see the various tabs, organization, where you can fill out all the required entry. Okay, business here. Okay. Okay. Okay, you saw the same thing there also without using the templates. You can go and see. So there'll be so much of data which you can actually fill in. Not a problem. And now if I save, P0008 gets created as a test cost center under your production department. Can you see this? See, it has already gone up, but it is not saved. Clear? So if I save, I can create this particular cost center also. Not a problem. If I create, let me just create. See, now it is ready to be used. It has become active. So one more important point, what you need to note is whatever you create in your CO area as a master data in your CO module, it cannot be used till you convert it into the active state. Did you understand? Now, if I create one more, let us say I would do this. I will create another cost center. See, it is inactive. So whatever new I create until and under, can you see the symbol? It is red. Only when it is active, it gets converted to green and I can use it for my data entry. Clear? So you can also see the same behavior at a later point in time. When I take you to the next topic, we will, anyway, I'm not going to save this. So now did you understand how you create the cost center with the standard hierarchy and without the standard hierarchy? Clear? So what else was there? Cost element, we have already seen what is a cost element. Primary cost element. Okay. You want me to go through the demo? I'll do that. Automatic creation of cost elements also we saw. Where you make the setting. Okay. So he has taken the example of the P&L account only. See, primary cost element. So this range, whatever you are seeing, 40000 to 415000, all are your. He has just taken an example. That's it. They're all P&L character GL accounts, and you are classifying them as your primary cost elements. Basically, your activity type is in respect of your HR. So where you are creating. Okay, let me take the help of SAP itself. What is activity type? Activity types. So it is enough for you to know if you have this has a link to your HR module. That's your CO and your HR module talks to something called as your activity types, and you can see there is something called as statistical key elements, key figures. Okay, there are other concepts. Don't have to get into that. Okay. Any questions?
Hello.
Yes, madam. Yeah, I'm having
Yes,
a look
sir,
at it.
Yes, yes.
There is only one question. Can we please have a recap of account assignment and recurring entry? Okay, we'll do it. Just give me some time. I will just finish with the CO so that the flow is not disturbed. Then I will definitely take up, if not today, maybe tomorrow. or maybe even the day after tomorrow. So please show rows from 200 onwards. I missed noting. In my Excel sheet, you mean? Okay. See, basically, instead of making the notes, see the Excel sheet is nothing but I'm making notes for myself. It is, see, as and when I'm explaining some concepts, I'm just putting it down. So if you have this mentally recorded, it is good. Okay, I will see more than making notes. If you can note all this from 200, is it? Okay. Just tell me when I'll have to move the cursor, I will do it. But please understand the subject conceptually. So as I've been telling, anybody moving you through the SAP screens and explaining a few concepts, it all looks very, very simple. It looks very easy. But it's only when you start doing things that you will be getting into issues. Don't worry about it. It takes time. It definitely takes time. And most importantly, as I've always been telling you, look at SAP from the business side, not from the view of the SAP system, but from what does the regular business do? All right. Think about what could happen in your normal business and how and what SAP solutions are available. Yeah. So that is the way you simplify learning SAP. Clear? Yeah, I will definitely take up that account assignment. And what was the other topic which was asked? Repeat cost element practical. Okay. And recurring entries. Okay, I'll do that. Recurring entries and account assignment. I'll do that. So cost element practically. See, first understand what is a cost element. So that is one mode where your SAP finance module is talking to your CO mode. Perfect. Now, what is a cost element? It is nothing but what you have studied in your PUC or in your undergraduate, your BCom, your primary cost elements and your secondary cost elements. That is all. So practically, if you want me to show you where this is done, yes, I can show you that, but need not have to actually see accounting, financial account, sorry, controlling, cost element, master data, cost element, individual processing, KA01. This is how a general ledger account in your chart of accounts of a P&L category gets created as a primary cost element. Clear? And if you want to create, see, if I want to create a general ledger account, okay, let me say I want to create 431, but I should know what is a GL account that I'm creating. I should be knowing that it is existing in the chart of accounts. Enter. It already exists. So I will pick up another one. See, whereas this water and things they have come up from, it is how your 416300. It is a P&L category general ledger account. You can see if you want to check, you can check FS00 416,300. Can you see it is a P&L category GL account? So I was very sure because of my what should I say? Of the time what I have spent on the SAP system. It'll come to you also. There is nothing big about it. Okay, but what I was trying to tell you is how this particular quarter, the English explanation for this particular general ledger account has come up. Yeah, I give the cost element category and say. So this gets created as a cost element. As what cost element? Primary cost element. So this is about your if this is what you exactly meant by asking me the practical side of cost element, this is what I can show. Clear? So just take 2 minutes, try to digest whatever has happened since yesterday. Come back to me with questions. Okay. Take time, not a problem. Definitely you will take a lot of time to understand. Do not worry. So I just go through the Q&A even before I move on to the other topic. I will just check if there are any other questions. Okay, I think I have taken up all the questions. So the other master data, what normally we talk from the CO perspective. Profit centers. What are profit centers? The reverse of cost centers, where normally you record your revenues. All right, normally. So what could be the typical example of your profit centers? Your sales department is one wonderful example for your profit center, because that is the place where the revenue is getting generated. Now, where is this particular profit center created? Now let me just check the other course content. This is all okay, not a problem. Planning and management accounting. Is it talking about profit centers? COPA integration. Okay. So another concept of your master data is your profit centers. So where is the profit center created? Can you see this profit center accounting in your easy access? Need to create. Okay. And as I said, if I take you to the consultant screen where the consultant creates the profit center, you can make note that this particular structure is also created on a standard hierarchy. So as a end user, where is the profit center created? Controlling, profit center accounting, master data. So again, there is a standard hierarchy, profit center, individual processing. KE51 is your profit center creation. Does the system, does GM01 already have profit centers? Yes, it does. It will immediately ask you under which controlling area. You can see the list of profit centers which has already been created. See, PCTR underscore GM01. This is a standard hierarchy under which I have created PCTR1 and PCTR2 as sales department 1 and sales department 2 as my profit centers. Go back. Let me see, I want to create PCTR3. So this is how it looks like. All right. Clear? I gave. Can you see the profit center group? Now we can go and see the other indicators, just like you saw in your cost centers, you can see. So it is ready to get saved. See, again, it is in the inactive state. Clear? So this is how I create a new profit center. I'm not going to save this data. So profit center, as you know, they are revenue collecting buckets. Okay. Now you can display the earlier created profit centers, PCTR2, sales department 2, manager. I will talk to you about the segments once we come back from our break. So it is active. So it can be used. So where do you use the profit centers? Now, if you see how the system is, okay, let me first show you how the consultant would have created. The end result is the same. Okay, even the end user will be creating the profit center. The consultant also will be creating the same, the profit center. Controlling profit center accounting. Please make a note that I am in the consultant screen. Display IMG. Basic settings or go to master data. Profit center. Can you see define hierarchy, standard hierarchy? It is already there. I don't have to define again. See, PCTR GM01. It is already there. Okay. Now, how do I create a profit center? See, create profit center. So it will take you to the same screen. It will take you to the same screen. Absolutely no difference. Clear? Now, so this is another master data which we create. Where do we use this? Where do we use the concept of profit centers? So where am I? I'm in the journal voucher entry. Keep moving to the right. Can you see the reference to profit center? So if at all I want to affect a specific transaction to a specific sales department, I would be using this. Now, did you understand? Now, there is another important connection which I will talk to you after the break. Janvi madam, can we break for 5 minutes? A short break?
Yes, yes, sir. Sure, sir. So it's almost 12:10. We'll meet after a 5 minutes break by 12:15.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll start. So after a short break, we saw another important master data creation in the CO area. There are many other things. Okay, you have something called as your activity type, your statistical key figures, whatnot. Okay, so let us not worry about that. Let us try to understand what is enough for us to understand the CO model. Okay, now I showed you where the profit center is created and how it is being used. Perfect. Now, if you saw the cost center master data, if you have closely observed, just hold on. I will tell you the importance of this profit centers. Now, if you saw the master of any specific cost center, every time you have to tell the costs, I mean the controlling area. So I'll pick up any of the cost centers, not a problem. My only intention is to tell you how the data is understood by the SAP system. Okay, I can take up, let me see. So what is this? This is the master data of a cost center. So let me pick up another one. P00. Can you see there is a reference to the profit center? So your cost center is having a reference to the profit center. Now do you see, if you simply give the cost center or your profit center, the data is flowing to the other entity also. Did you see how the connection is happening? The cost center master data will have a reference to the profit center. Clear? Now, I will go and have a look at the profit center. I simply want to view display. I will say PCTR1, PCTR1. Can you see there is a reference to the segment? So see how the data connection is happening. So your cost center master data has a reference to the profit center. Your profit center master data has a connection to something called as a segment. Now, what is a segment? Let us take the help of SAP. Let us see if we can understand. Segment for segmental reporting. So I would put it as the basic node on which the reporting is carried out. Clear? Okay, so every profit center, you can take a PCTR2 also. It will have a reference to the segment. So this is how your SAP defines the flow of the data. So what have we understood by the word segment? Segment is a very, very important definition as far as segmental reporting is concerned. So what is a segment? And how is this seg A, seg B defined? It is defined by the consultant. He can define it here or definition, financial accounting. Can you see define segment? You can also define a profit center here. Can you see this? Let us try to understand what is a segment. The segment is then derived from the assigned profit center while posting. So this will enable your segmental reporting. But have you still understood what is a segment? Derive a segment. Let me see if this gives you this. Okay, let me please refer to some baddies. Okay, let's not get into what is a baddie and a bappy or something. Okay, what is a user exit? He has still not defined what is a segment. I will tell you the business explanation for the I will tell you the business explanation for what is a segment. A segment is the basic minimum node for which you start your reporting. I'll give you an example. Now, you have a textile business. You have a cloth ready under ready-made gents, ladies. For gents, same thing you have for ladies also. I'm just imagining a business scenario. Clear? Under t-shirts, you may have collar, round neck. For trousers, see how I can complicate the reporting. I can have jeans. I can have chinos. Shirts. Full sleeves. Full sleeves, half sleeves. So where exactly do you want the reporting to start? Do you want just at the gents and the ladies level? Or do you want at the trousers level? Or do you want at the jeans and the chinos level? So like this, I can keep getting down to the base. So after having collected all these requirements from the business, I work from the bottom up. I would take up the requirement. Now let me say the organization is reporting at the round neck and a collared neck level. So what would I define as a segment? What would I define as a profit center? What would I define as a cost center? Depends on this particular reporting structure. On what exactly, at what point I am defining my reporting. How do I, at what level I want to see my reports? Do I want to see it only at the cloth level and the ready-made level? So where exactly do I want the reporting to start? So this is a small example of how the consultant would analyze the business of the customer and then derive the reporting structure. So whether he wants it here, whether he wants it here. So like this. Clear? So the minimum, the bottommost node from where the organization wants the reporting to start, that becomes your segment. So you saw the place of definition also, where the consultant would have defined a segment. So I would click, I would execute. Oh, I need to relog in, I guess. So did you see how the consultant understands the reporting requirement? That is what is required. Okay, from the consultant's perspective, not from your end. Okay, but I gave you this example simply to tell you as to how the consultant arrives at the basic requirement. So we were interested to see where the segment would have got defined. Enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, define segment. Can you see your seg A and seg B here? See, jeans, trousers, men, jeans, trousers, women, formal trousers. So this is how I would have designed my segments based on the requirement of the business. Yeah. Need to understand the logic. So where would you see the seg A and seg B? Now you saw. So I will take you straight away into your KE 53 GM01 ECTR1. Can you see? It has the segment A. So like this, now you have a connection. Segment reporting to the profit center reporting to the cost center. You will see the flow of the information. And from the COA, from the cost center, it is going to your COA. Clear? Where would you see this? Now, let me take up our next topic is our. So we have seen this AR and AP, general ledger accounting, segment accounting. Where is this? We'll spend some time. This is your segment reporting. See, understand the need for segments and the segment reporting. See, probably you may not. This may not be very clear. See, you saw the master data of a profit center. The profit center is 1000, CO area is 1000, and you see the segment. So we saw that the strongly recommended way by SAP is to derive the information. So you saw the connection now. Segment to profit center to cost center. Okay, forget about what is this baddie. Your baddie is your business add-ins. Typically your technical term, don't bother about it. So a demonstration. Let us spend no harm in spending some time on segment. You will see how to display profit center and a segment. See, it is not even told you how to create a segment. Accounting. So he will go to KE52, display profit center, or edit profit center. Oh, okay. Going to master reports. In the following step, you will see how to display the profit center PCTR 00 in controlling area 100. See, for explaining things, he always takes the example of the standards. Can you see? There is a segment SCRV. I don't know to what it pertains to or what it means. Now it is talking to your profit center PCTR 00. So we have already seen this connection. So he's going to the consultant mode. Let us see what he does here. Enterprise structure. There he defines a segment. Here. So this is all about your master data as far as your CO module is concerned. Derivation of a segment. See, this is all typical your technical information. Because see, what the consultant should do is he needs to simply assign what to what. Your definition should be complete in all the respects. Segment should be defined, profit center should be defined, your cost center should be defined. First thing, your segment should be connected to profit center should be connected to your cost center. This completes your cycle of the consultant's role. This baddies, bappies, let us not worry about it. Okay. Understand the need for segments and segment report. Clear? So I've just taken a small example of some business where I thought probably this could simplify the learning. Clear? So how are you feeling? I mean, each and every day as it is progressing, as the sessions are progressing, you feel the subject to be more and more interesting. You can really see how intelligent the system is, how it is able to understand, pick up the information without the end user even knowing about certain things. Do you agree with me? Correct? Cost element practical. I have already done this. So I'll definitely have a recap of your account assignment and your recurring entries, maybe say tomorrow. So that let me give some time for you people to forget, unlearn and relearn. Okay. So that is the intention. So with this, I end a very brief introduction to your CVO module. But please believe me, there are lots and lots more in the CVO module, which I have not even spoken about. Yeah, we have concepts like distribution assessment. Okay, so the COPA. So it is very huge, very vast. And since you're just getting used to this, the FI and your CO, just allow yourself to understand these things and how SAP has organized the information flow or the data flow. Clear? So I'll give you a 2-minute breather for you to think about whatever has happened and come back to me with questions if you have any. All right, let me just check if there are any new questions for me. Can you please explain how to generate report for a particular segment? Okay, let me just try doing that. Good question. See, the only thing is you will have to deep dive into the system. Reports are enormous. Now, since you have asked me, I do not even remember when I would have extracted this report. Okay, I'll have to let me take you into the system. That is going to be a very good revision for you people for a specific segment you asked, right? Okay, let me just check if there is any standard report. Because I do not remember what I would have done in my live projects, but let me know in looking for your requirement. Profit center, okay. Information system, repos for profit center. See, you have so many things. Profit center group, key figures, list oriented, statistical key. See, your report can be arrived at the statistical key figures. Okay, what is a statistical key figure? Let us keep silent on that. Line item reports, profit centers, open items, profit center receivables, actual line items. Is there any reference to the segment? So profit center is very much there. So you can also arrive at the client. So I think probably you may have to spend some more time. Drill down. Profit center group, key figures, profit center group, key figures, cumulative. See, nobody has even opened this report. Okay. So just wade through your system. Create report you have. Okay. Report painter is another very important concept, especially when you're talking about the COP. Okay. So many people would have created so many things. Internal orders, cost elements. let me look for, and why do I have to look for in the profit center? I can as well do it in my, just give me 2 more minutes and I'm not going to waste much more time. Uh, Probably we'll have to spend some time on this. Not to worry. Okay. Just one more, see, segment. So, I mean, it all, just try, just try. See, I was looking at the profit centers. Now you can look at the segment level. Yeah. Shall I take up the ledger? So probably this could satisfy your requirement. Okay. Just keep drill down, drill down. You may probably find a report, because I don't remember having seen this kind of a this one report, or probably would have customized it. Let me see if I have any other questions. Department, the cost center, you can find it out. No, that should not be a problem. Okay. Now, ledger. Where do I see that ledger? We look at BRS also. We'll take up fixed assets after our lunch break. Yes. So the concept of parallel ledgers. What was the topic? Ledgers. Now, basically, whenever you have opened a report, I don't know if you have observed. Let me open up your FBL or FK10N also. Not a problem. Take up a simple account. Can you see that it is pointing to something called as a ledger? What is the 0L? 0L is referred to as the leading ledger in SAP, and 0L is the standard leading ledger in any of the projects. All right. There has been no change in the concept of the leading ledger. But can you see at the bottom, there is a message saying that new general ledger is implemented. So there was a classic general ledger approach, and there is now a new general ledger report, a new general ledger approach. For what? Now, as and when the complexities of the business they grew, the reporting dynamics also changed, in the sense, now if I'm operating in more than one country, I need the transactions to happen simultaneously for different accounting requirements. Now my Indian business body is taking care of IS, Indian Accounting Standards. My US branch is taking care of the US GAAP. My German-based company or my European-based company is using the IFRS standards. So simultaneously, how would I satisfy the requirement for the reporting? Because I need to submit the results of my business based on the requirement of that particular country. I cannot deviate from it. So how will I design my SAP system so that I can satisfy this requirement? So the SAP moved from your classic general ledger accounting to something called as your new general ledger accounting, where there was concepts of leading and non-leading ledgers. What is your non-leading ledger? Your mother country of your business. Suppose I have opened my business in India. That becomes the leading ledger. So my mother country will become the leading ledger. And wherever I spread my business, that will be the non-leading ledgers. The concept of leading and non-leading ledgers. You can just read the explanation. But what is the 0L? It is your standard. Names a ledger in general ledger account. What is a ledger? Section of a database table. Forget it. Clear? And even when you saw your or you saw in your report. Now you understood the concepts of ledger. Why ledger? To facilitate multiple reporting. Clear? Now suppose, so basically you need to understand one more thing. All your transactions, they are hitting your leading ledger, whether you like it or you do not like it, whether the user mentions it or does not mention it. All your transactions are definitely getting into the leading ledger. There is no escape from that. Just take, for example, your FBL 3N only. Let me take out, let me give what account should I pick? Can I bring in the ledger? Let me just check. Probably will not be. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. See, all your entries are already getting into your leading ledger. That is the principle, whether you like it or you don't like it. Now, where do I define the ledgers? As a consultant, please make a note that I'm always talking from the consultant's perspective. Financial accounting global settings, ledgers. Define ledgers for your general ledger accounting. Now let me see if there is any explanation. The ledgers are based on the total table. You don't have to worry about what is a total table. Leading and non-leading ledger. Leading ledger is based on the same other. It is integrated with all the subsidiary. You must designate exactly. You must designate exactly one and only one leading ledger in your system. Your SAP system cannot have more than one leading ledger. It doesn't allow. The non-leading ledgers are your parallel ledgers supporting your leading ledger. For what? For your local accounting principles such as German Commercial Code. So now I think probably you're a little clearer about why you require this. Now I would define. Can you see that you have exactly one and only one leading ledger? You cannot have more than one leading ledger in your SAP system. And your 0L is a standard. Even in our live projects, we do not tamper with our leading ledgers. Now you can see there is a ledger defined for GAAP, international financial requirement. Okay, so I cannot have more than one leading ledger. So what does the ledger help me with? So this is how the consultant defines the ledgers. Defines the ledgers based on the requirement of the customer. Now, if at all, now we have seen, now you make an entry here, document entry. Is there a place for you to enter the ledger? We never saw that, right? So here do we see any place for entering the ledger? We do not see. As I said, all your entries are straight away getting into your non-leading, into your leading ledger, 0L, whether you like it or you don't like it. Suppose there is a requirement for you to enter a specific transaction specific to that particular requirement of that country. Okay, to meet the US GAAP requirement, I want to make an entry in my non-leading ledger. How will I enter that in my system? Can you see FB50L? Now, do I have the place for me to enter into the specific ledger? I can pick up any ledger to which I am posting. So automatically it is getting into your 0L. That you do not have to worry. Suppose I want to push it into 1L. So I can select the set of books for which I am recording that entry or where I'm passing the transaction. So this is how the system enables the user to enter a transaction specific to that geographical requirement, I mean accounting principle. FB01L. Can you see? It is asking me for the ledger group. So this is the concept of your parallel ledgers. maintain parallel ledgers for different accounting requirements. Just read them through. Okay. Indian accounting standards, parallel ledger. You saw this? You saw the screen now? IFRS ledger, US GAAP, your IAS. Okay. So based on the requirement, you need for parallel ledgers. So we understood the requirement for parallel ledgers. For what? For your accounting reporting requirements for that specific country. Highly decentralized parallel accounting. Why? With diverse regional requirements with various submission methods that vary by entity or by region or by the accounting principle. So that is the reason for your parallel accounting requirements. Saw this? So how the system would understand? So you see this ledger group. Here. This is your financial statement, which we are going to look at a little later. So implement parallel accounting to support international and your local reporting standards. Create and maintain parallel ledgers based on the scenarios. Yes, madam. If there are any questions, we can take it up after the lunch, after our lunch break.
Okay, sir. I'll check if there is any questions. I'll send you the screenshot of it.
Sure, madam. Sure. So we can break for lunch now.
Yes, sir. Sure.
And meet up by 2 p.m.
Yes. So students, now we'll be taking a break and we'll meet again at 2 p.m. for the session of SAP, which will be a continuation. Thank you all. Have a nice. Thank you, sir.